Colmeth, look, you're listening to this right now going, actually, I do fancy her. I want to move this. If that is the case, fantastic. What I've got to say is don't be so naive and think that she enjoys this podcast. Are you mad? She doesn't enjoy this podcast. She hates it.
She's doing this for you, you idiot. She's doing it for you. And you're ignoring it.
There'll be another wave.
Probably. There's no chance that 21st of June's happening, is it? It's just because of the old bloody EU blocking all the vaccines.
Yeah. Thank God.
Those bloody rascals.
Thank God Brexit happened.
Mate, it's a good question though, isn't it? Like, what if, would it made a difference?
Well,
would it have made a difference?
It working out doesn't mean it's right. So that's where I feel.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's working out for us. The fact that it's working out doesn't mean it's right.
Right, in that, do you mean it's not fair that we're getting all the vaccines?
No, I still would. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of the vaccines.
Give us the vaccines, and then when we've had enough, we'll give you some.
Yeah, let's get this done. Let's get this. No, listen. No, I completely understand your point of view, but let's just get us sorted, and then we'll move on to you. Okay.
Well, we were called Plague Island. Plague Island. Not anymore, son. Yeah. We got all the vaccines. Yeah. Who's the Plague Island now? Yeah. EU. Majority of it.
Joking aside, we are all equal. We are. No, we are. We're all completely equal. But just let us get sorted out, and then we'll do.
Some people are more equal than others.
Yeah.
Some people are more equal. No, look. To be fair, as far as I understand it, and I don't really understand it. We put in a lot of orders, more orders than we needed.
yeah. Look, it's
got in there and say, we'll have some of that. What if you developing a vaccine over there? God, give us 10 million then. Yeah. What are you doing over there? What, AstraZeneca? Yeah, come on.
This is basic commerce, isn't it? We've put an order in.
They should fulfil the order.
Right. Let's get into it. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to James and Flav. For now, we are on the international break. So, what on earth are we going to talk about when it comes to football?
Well, luckily, not a lot of football, is there? There's nothing to talk about, so we don't have to, do we, Jim?
A real breather. It does feel like a real breather. We've got a few bits in here. Jack Grealish is the type of guy. We've got some mind-bending facts. We've got... we need to get geared up for the new season. When I say new season...
Someone say gear.
No, get geared up for the new season. We're talking about our team, of course, Aunt Bessie's. We're getting into that as well. But I'm going to go early with the football chat. And do you know what I do? I would like, guys, when we're doing the podcast, look, we know, let's be straight. And let's be straight at the start of the podcast. This is a football podcast, but we try and keep it out of it, okay? That said, I need a title, lads and ladies. Every single week, I need a title.
Do you, though?
Right? Yeah, I would need to go title hunting. I need something, all right? So...
I thought you'd given up on all that. You're nearly 100k. You've given up on all that. We'll do what you want now.
Due to good titling and thumbnails. So what I'm saying is, when we do this on a Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, just send me a good title. Just on Twitter, wherever it needs to be. Just give me something that I can get 10 minutes out of, and then we can talk waffle for the rest of it.
I've got a title for you to do well. Liverpool fans are the worst.
Go on.
No, that's it. We're not even going to talk about it.
That did well for us once.
We've done that one, have we?
We did.
All right.
Liverpool unstoppable. And
is Salah overrated?
Yeah.
A myth. Is Salah a myth? But we won't talk about it. We'll just use it as a title. Like, and they'll look at it and go, at some point in the next hour and a half, they talk about this. I can't be bothered. I'll give them the click. Just get out of here.
But I mean, that's dangerous. That's dangerous in itself. So I just need 10 minutes. But it fell on my lap yesterday when I saw this. And do you know what I do like? I do like that. I got absolutely done yesterday. I thought there was there's a Twitter account called Official Roy Keane. And I thought that was 16. I thought it was actually him. And I I quote tweeted again, God, he's leaning into this stereotype because he wrote something about throwing bricks at a kid.
I saw that, yeah. Goalkeeper training.
Because Roy Keane's linked with the Celtic job. And what I liked about the tweet was that we've created such a world of fear. I mean, entertainment, but fear amongst our people. That people actually just, one, let it go. And then one or two were like, am I allowed to call out Jim for like being stupid here? because they didn't feel safe to do it because they're scared that we're going to go turn on them.
On the pod?
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
I wouldn't.
It's great.
I mean, I would never. I
It's
would
what
never
Hitler
turn
felt
on.
like, ruling with fear.
With fear, I would never. I
delightful.
would never turn on our slugs ever.
Very Moorish. Very Moorish. Right, let's say. Oh, yeah, football chat straight away. Do the signal, Flav, and then we'll get into everything else. Yeah, thanks for that. Because Roy Keane is linked with the Celtic manager's job, and this blows my mind.
Does it really, Jim?
Yeah.
Like, really think about what you've just said.
What?
Does it blow your mind?
It does blow my mind.
Does it?
Why? Why doesn't it blow my mind?
Because like something blows your mind, like finding out that sharks are older than trees. That blows your mind. Not this. Just say it's quite surprising. Say that. Say that.
No. It blows my mind. Let me explain how it blows my mind. Right, Roy Keane in Celtic next manager talks. So he's in talks. They're talking about it. They're trying to get it over the line. Right? This is their daily record. The 49-year is keen on the Parkhead vacancy and wants to be considered for the job. He turned down in 2014 when he, that was after 3 years of being a manager, right? So first of all, he's in discussions. This article we haven't had disappointing headlines in a while. My point is, right, to start off with, is that how is he in line for this? If you set the scene of the situation that Celtic are in, right? Rangers have just grabbed back the stranglehold that is the SPL, and they've stopped 10 in a row. This team is miles off them, certainly this season. You need to bounce back. You need to bounce back quickly because you don't want Gerrard getting on a 4 or 5 year run of winning the title because you're a mess, right? So you need to make the right decision. So before I get into this article, why is Roy Keane an option?
Is he a legitimate option or is this just newspaper bullshit?
Well, apparently,
is he talking about it?
They're in talks.
Wow. I guess they've got for such a long time. They've got to a situation where they can just really pick anybody, and they've got the might to do it. And they're probably stuck in that way of thinking. They've also not a wealthy club. I was talking to a good friend Kieran MacGyver the other day, and he was talking about the financial issues there and how much bonuses are being paid to the sporting directors and the directors of the football club, and it should be trickling down to the players, and they're not getting enough money to do it. But
phased out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So maybe they just think, oh well, we can do whatever we want because Celtic. Maybe there's an element of arrogance, or maybe it's just not an attractive job for most managers. Gerrard's first job, Rangers. There's a story there. Gerrard goes to Rangers. He stops Celtic. He wins them their first title in 10 years, and completes the end of that amazing story of coming up through the divisions after they were disbanded. So I get that from Gerrard. But
Gerrard as well is the thing with Gerrard is the idea that we're getting a manager who could be an awesome manager early doors before people have realised it, and we get to utilise the plethora of contacts that he's got. Roy Keane, right? Let's go to the article. Roy Keane, Manchester United icon. Roy Keane has reportedly held discussions with Celtic over the vacant managerial position. The 49-year-old appears keen on the Parkhead vacancy. And one of the guys in the chat, who was it? Where is it? Someone said the betting on Sky Bet's been suspended because it looks like it's definitely going to happen.
Doesn't mean anything. That doesn't, by the way.
So not okay. All right. The 49-year-old appears keen on the vacancy. A job he turned down. It's a job he turned down.
It's your job.
It's not a job I want. In 2014. When Neil Lennon had a job last time. Daily Mail state that the can't miss Sky Sports pundit is one of a number of candidates in the frame to become a Celtic manager. Keane has emerged as the bookies' favourite with the likes of Sheffield United manager Chris Wilder and Manchester City youth coach Enzo Marasca also in the frame. What Chris Wilder? The idea of what have you won or what have you done as a manager? If Chris Wilder wants this job and misses out on it because of Roy Keane, he's got to be fuming.
That's a scandal. That would be an absolute scandal. He's done more than Roy Keane will ever achieve in his career as a manager, and he's already done it. You know, and he understands playing at a lower level, teams at a lower level. You know, and he got them. What was it, League One? He took over.
I reckon he could get some cracking players as well that would be, you know,
and he could do the old
really well. He'd go around the side. It'd be great.
He could do the overlapping centre backs, and they ain't seen that in Scotland. No. They won't know what to do. Like no one knew what to do in the Premier League. What are fucking those? Where are the centre backs going? Everyone's like, wow, this is nouveau football. Yeah, but in Scotland they'd be like, oh. I can't do a Scottish accent. It's a shame.
Yeah. They're not hitting that long, guys. They're not hitting that long. They're not hitting it long. What's going on?
What's going on?
Hey, stop that. What's he? He's got big.
This is proper football. I can't do it.
He's not hitting that long.
He's not hitting it long.
I can't believe it. He's got this big fellas going around the scene. I can't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's got an opportunity there. So that would be the sensible thing. Could they afford him? I don't know. Do you know why I don't want Roy Keane to join Celtic? It's because I can't be fucking arsed for the weeks in the run-up of doing Roy Keane versus Steven Gerrard in the Old Firm derby. Like, mate, just get fucked. Literally anyone who's really interested in football could give a shit that they used to play for opposite teams. No one cares.
Do you know, if you're Steven Gerrard, you're like, go on, give it to him. Go on, give him the job, because
make this easy for me.
You know how easy to wind him up it's going to be. You chuck one rod out there, and it's just going to be an absolute field day. And
you're like a fucking woman to me.
Yeah. Eternal will bigger at the time. Roy Keane will definitely bite. Like it's suspend betting on that. Like there's no it just wouldn't work out, would it? Because this is so right. Let's get to the end of this. Just to be clear, Celtic know they must find the right candidate to regain control domestically after Steven Gerrard and Rangers race to the earliest title in Scottish football history. The upcoming season also has real significance in Europe, with the Hoops entering Champions League qualifying in treacherous non-champions playoff route. Keane hasn't managed in his own right since 2011.
Ipswich Town.
But received a glowing review from Martin O'Neill, who waxed lyrical about the former Republic and non-nine. How? How are you... What, Roy? Some people think he's a bit standoffish. Oh, no. Oh, just such a warm character. With some of the football we played... Don't look it up. Some of the football we played for Ireland was great. And I don't know, who's the guy? Dermot Desmond goes, well, they're playing it along. And he goes, yeah, we were playing it along. That's exactly what we're doing. And Roy was really behind that.
So, other than Chris Wilder, who do you think would be good for the Celtic job?
I mean, if you look at the blueprint, Curbs is an option, 33-1. If you look at the blueprint of Brendan Rodgers in terms of his career, then Eddie Howe is a really good shout for him in terms of his ambitions as well, to go there, play good football.
That is a good shout.
And then go back to Leicester or Everton or whoever he wants.
Yeah.
But I just if what you're looking for in a manager, right? It's like with the Gerrard thing. Imagine if he hadn't have been a good manager, the thing that you did know is he had good people around him, and he had contacts that he could utilise. Roy Keane has burned every bridge that he's probably ever had, and is known for creating a difficult environment. And hasn't managed since 2011.
Mate, I've just Googled on Transfer Market available managers. Look at the player. I think it is an attractive job, isn't it? I mean, the Celtic job's a big job. You'd be able to get some of these. These are managers currently without jobs. Frank Lampard. Now that might be interesting. Frank Lampard at Celtic.
Him and Jody
versus Gerrard. Again, not something I really wouldn't give a shit about. But anyway, Sarri's available. Spalletti. Marco Silva. That's an interesting one. Hasn't had a job since Everton.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
He'd probably go.
Marco Silva's not a bad shout. Like, I think wasn't he at Olympiacos as well, so he kind of knows that the fever pitch nature of
You mean Tin Pot League, don't you? That's what you were getting at.
Yeah, just spin it. You can always spin it. Spin it.
Mark Hughes is available.
Mark Hughes, is he? Scott Brown's going to Aberdeen as a player coach.
Is he really?
So yeah, I just don't know. I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments why this is a good idea. I'd love to know if anyone can think of a reason why it's a good idea. You know, is he forward thinking? Is he a great coach? Has he got great man management? Has he got great friends in football? Yeah. No, I just don't get it.
So I'm thinking of it. You're right. What about? I think Lampard quite could do it because he does have those contacts, doesn't he? He would be able to draw on.
He could utilise the Chelsea. You know, that's the thing, because that's the thing with a lot of these younger guys is you go, all right, bring him on because he'll bring a couple of the Liverpool guys or a couple of the Chelsea guys, and it it improves the squad. Sure.
Also, do you remember what Harry Redknapp said? All these tactics are fine, aren't they? They're fine. It's all fine tactics, but the game's simple. You just need the players.
I mean,
you've got good players, you'll win games.
A lot of truth in that.
And I think in that league, I'm sorry, like I'm sure there are some sweaties watching this who. I'm allowed to say that, am I? Sweaties?
I don't know.
Say that. Pretty sure that's fine. You can't be racist towards other white people, is it? Sweaty's offensive to Scottish people. Let us know in the comments. Say yes, and I'll never say it again. I promise. That's fine, isn't it, Jim?
Yeah, we're exploring it. It's fine.
Exploring it. So I mean, you can call me a limey. I think it's the same. Anyway, I'm sure like they get, but you just go up there. Someone with it can bring in the players. Probably enough to win the league in Scotland.
It's an option. Right. We move forward. Jim Big Laugh Award. Let's get into that. And then we can we'll just make our way through. Just calmly make our way through. Got some nice bits in this week's pod. The Jim Big Laugh Award there is only one nominee.
Oh yeah.
Because McSlash, who is on my, we spend a lot of time together, me and McSlash on Twitch. He's so funny. He's like, some people are good in person, funny in person. Some people are funny in writing. I'm scared to meet McSlash because he's so funny in writing. I'm worried he's gonna just be not funny in person. A lot of pressure. But, we'll see when that day comes.
We're doing a live show, aren't we?
We're going to do a live show for sure. We're looking at
some point.
Yeah, when you book it.
I spoke to my good man Mooch. We're into Vauxhall Comedy Club. Moochie will sort us out.
Lovely. McSlash.
You've got to see how many sluggies are going to come down. That's all we got to know. We've got to know how many sluggies will come down and whether it's worthwhile.
How do we work that out? How do we figure out how many sluggies want to come to the live?
So obviously the tickets will be free. So what the little slugs will have to do is they'll have to sign up with their name and address to like some sort of Albright or Ticketbright, little slugs. They probably have to be 18 plus because they'll want to make the money off the bar. They won't just give it to us for free. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, sort of just fill it in. And if you say you're going to come. If you don't come after you said you're going to come, we'll ban you for it indefinitely.
Fair point. So yeah, make sure you're funny when you turn up, McSlash.
Yeah, don't turn up and not be funny. Do you know what I mean? Don't be that prick.
Yeah,
and turn up and not be funny.
And do you know what?
I want to hear smatterings of laughter throughout the night constantly.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I tell you what, don't you dare act awkward with me when this happened. I want you to say hello, introduce yourself, strong handshake. If you want to bring it into that one, fine. Okay.
And can I add something else to that, Kim?
Yeah.
Don't you fucking dare be too familiar with me. I don't know you.
It's a fine line, isn't it? It really is.
Fine line.
Yeah. I know you, you know me, but I don't really know you. so it's like it's a sales call, but without the sale. Okay.
Don't you fucking dare approach me without a drink in your hand for me.
Yeah.
Don't you dare.
Yeah. I'm just gonna walk around. I'm just gonna walk around with a tray. And I expect, and if you want to come talk to me, pop one on there, and we'll have a chat.
That gives you 2 minutes. That'll give you 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke, guys. We're looking forward to it. Right, so yeah, Jim Big Laugh Award. There's only one nominee this week. Only one that made me laugh out loud. McSlash. Slug 1. So there's a bit of a script here. Slug 1. Did they talk about the Rabona on the pod? Slug 2. Yeah, they did. Slug 1. The Lamella one, yeah? Slug 2. Nah, the one on the Aunt Bessie's Young Boys FC promo video. They didn't mention the Lamella one.
That is completely true.
That is completely true. Exactly. And you know, speaking of managers that should be linked with the Celtic job, Tom Whitby, who is the manager of Aunt Bessie's, they've done a little a player getting to know the players video, which I think we should show you. So guys, if you don't know, look, a lot of things are getting wound up. Your team might be mid-table, you might, or relegated or whatever, and you might not have something that you need to be able to get behind. Aunt Bessie's is that, okay? This is our last team that we're going to get behind this season, and the situation in the league is fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. We looked at it last week. You got those mugs internazionale. You got murder on the dance floor. Chicken tikka Mo Salah. And after a closer look, I didn't realise you got Aunt Bessie's, who are sort of primed to hopefully get into the top 3. What I don't know is actually, and I don't know if Whitby's in the chat. Tom, Gaffer, if you are in the chat, can you just let us know where you need to finish to get promoted or what the deal is? Okay. You might have said this before, but just to reiterate. What was interesting was the situation of The Wire. Now, The Wire are on 20 points. But if you take a closer inspection, there's a little asterisk here. Okay? And here you can see adjustment made. Because
that tells you nothing. An asterisk is supposed to tell you everything. What it means is, here's an asterisk. We understand this isn't right. Here's our acknowledgement of it, and this is exactly why there is an asterisk and why it doesn't all add up. And all they've given you is adjustments have been made.
Okay,
that's not enough information.
Right.
Who are these clowns? It's the FA.
Take a breath. I'll give you the answers, because what was confusing was the fact that the Wire have played 12 games, won 11 of those. So 10 times 3 is 30, 33, 1 draw, 34 points, 79 goals. Yet somehow they're on 20 points.
What is the answer then?
Can we have a look at The Wire? Hang on. What's going on here? Oh, next big game. The Wire versus Murder on the Dance Floor. Interesting. I hadn't seen that. Who Aunt Bessie's got next? JD and Coke. We've got JD and Coke first game back. Coke. Sunday, 7 o'clock in the morning, apparently.
Wow. Commitment. That is commitment.
Christ.
I want you to go through them, boys. Yeah. I want you to go through them.
Do not hesitate to go through them.
Go straight fucking through them.
So I did ask, what's the deal with The Wire? And they made it very clear that apparently The Wire weren't paying their fees, financial irregularities, or something like that. And someone took over their spot. And thus, I think they had, I presume, a 14-point deduction. The narrative in this league, in the Warrington, just to be clear, hang on, in the Warrington District, Soccer Zone Warrington and District League, it's just incredible. So you've got 20, 20, 21, 21. JD and Coke, where are they? Where's JD and Coke? Eighth.
Oh, yeah.
Right, got to be winning that. You've got to come out the trap strong on the return. It's crucial. Absolutely crucial.
Aunt Bessie's, like, you got to get out their defence. They're minus 60 goal difference currently. They're very porous. They're very porous. You can just imagine their defence, what they look like, physically, what they look like.
It's not, pressure makes diamonds here, guys. Enjoy it, absorb it, get out there and attack. Saying that, having looked at your stats, be careful, because we've seen that you've scored 38, which is a lot less than the others. Okay.
Yeah, but
you've conceded a lot less. So although you've got that intention to go and press, you might blow yourselves out, guys. You might. So just be careful. You've got to be clever. Just do your job.
Guys, all I would say is I'm less supportive in that. This is a big chance for you. This is a big opportunity, right? We're giving you. Don't fuck it up.
But yeah, we need to know what the stakes are in terms of glory. Like, are they? Is the aim top 2? And
win every game is the aim.
Sure.
Win every game from this point to the end of the season. You want to win the league? You've got to win every game.
That's it. Right.
We would accept nothing less.
Well, let's get to know the guys a little bit better. This is Tom Whitby of Aunt Bessie's, gaffer, player extraordinaire. And I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, Flav, but
I've watched it.
You've watched it, so let's just hear what Whitby's got to say for himself.
Stand there.
Do one with the gaffer, and then
Player gaffer.
Player gaffer.
Athlete. Whatever you want.
Welcome to the first edition of Behind the Bessies with player gaffer Tom Whitby. Let's get stuck into it.
Buzz into stone.
Better.
It's going to be a strong end to the season, I feel. The players are up for it. I've had a chat with them all. The key. They're very keen.
The key, that's good.
Absolutely. International Ireland, we're coming for you. If you're cheating, I hope you get relegated. For the Bessies, Ronaldo.
Something at Soccer AM, isn't it?
Messi.
Favourite team?
Bessies. Ants.
Bessies.
Oh, Bessie's to be good.
Everton.
I've got to say, the audio levels are all over the place here. That's enough. That's it. And number 10, player manager.
They're a football team. They're not a.
Well, I'm just saying, work on the audio, please, or if you're going to do more of these. But importantly, the action starts next week. So I think bit of homework. What we'd like is a breakdown of how you're going to set up against JD and Coke, because the game's next Sunday. So Whitby, let us know how you're looking to set up. Who are your key men? Because that's going to be crucial. Because I want you guys to get off to the right start. But good luck up the Bessies. If people haven't followed them, I want everyone to get behind the Bessies, please. It's at Aunt Bessie's YBFC. They're going to destroy the Soccer Zone Warrington and District this season. I can feel it.
Are they going to record the game?
I feel like we need some highlights.
Need some goals or something.
Need something, yeah. Because I tell you what, this is going to be a massive anticlimax if we build this up for 3 weeks and then you don't give us any footage at all. So don't let us down, Whitby. Gaffer. Right. Patrons are flying, Flav. Patrons are bloody flying. Unbelievable.
Bless you.
We're on 242. Last week we were on 215.
Jesus, really?
Or maybe 2 weeks ago. Still, that's amazing. We're flying.
Amazing.
We had a good mailbag this week. Actually, it was an absolute car crash of a mailbag this week. But in future, it won't be.
What happened?
We kept something kept going on with your thing, didn't it? Your camera.
Your thing. Yours.
Your camera, wasn't it? Right. Let's get into it. Quotes of the pod. McSlash, this is from last week. If you missed out last week's podcast, go and check it out. A lot of weird chat last week, but I enjoyed it. McSlash again. Quote of the pod. Horse shit is just hay with an ugly casing. All right, that's enough football chat. Staniel Herbane. Quote of the pod. Flav. 100,000 dead. Doesn't even scratch the surface of what I felt. Ethan Gilly, quote of the pod. Is this a show for virgins? Is that what this is?
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
There was someone tweeted us said, I'm 28, I watched the show and I am a virgin.
Great. That's great. That's preferable. That's preferable. Yeah, because you're old enough to kind of have the chat and understand the references, but you are importantly a virgin.
Because it doesn't matter how old you are. The first time you have sex, it just don't last very long, do you? Because it's like, oh my God, it's happening. It's happening.
Yeah, it's car crash. That's how I would describe it for me personally. I'd rather not get into the details. But car crash. I think I've said it on the mailbag.
James's tiny little buttocks just going up and down.
Yeah.
Come on, stick with it, Jim. Hold on, Jim.
Yeah.
That's it, Allcott. Yeah. That's it, Allcott. You're doing all right.
She's like,
right.
She's like, you can breathe, you know. I was like, oh, no idea. I thought you just.
You do that on top of fucking.
You're like, don't shake like that. Sleep. So I sleep. Very different.
The Allcott tuck.
Allcott.
And you're ready, giving yourself a pep talk. Come on, Allcott. Come on, Allcott. Let's go, Allcott.
I love you. I love you too. Are you sure you want to do this? Yeah, no, I am. I want to. Okay. I swear, like growing up, I remember so vividly having a chat. I think it was year 9. This is before before porn was so readily available. It seems. I remember my idea of how sex worked, and then like someone drawing something in their notebook, and I was like, "What's that?" And he explained to me that it was the woman's genitals. and I was like, explain. I said, what? I went, mate, can you? Because he was a good friend. I was like, can you just explain like what all this is? Just didn't have a clue. And he said, make sure you said when you do lose your virginity, he said, make sure you hold your breath. Cheers. And I did.
Oh. So you last as long as you can hold your breath.
Yeah, which is probably better than most men.
Not bad, though, Jim. Not bad.
Cheers. Respect.
Yeah.
So those are your quotes of the pod this week. By the way,
Jim, was your eyes really tightly closed as well? Like that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like what's his name? What's his name? Louis Armstrong. It's like that. Just my cheeks were just like. Yeah.
James, what are you doing? I'm having sex. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. Are you okay? You okay? Yeah? You sure you want to carry on? What a weird podcast. Do you know what, actually, this is the perfect time. I nearly forgot about this, but we were speaking on the mailbag with a patron. So if you do want to become a patron, if you want to join us for the mailbag, like I said, there's 200 odd of us now. And we're going to be telling everyone about the merch very, very, very soon. It's pretty much ready to do. I need to add my bank details, basically. Or do I? Doesn't matter. Anyway, merch is on its way, but we're going to offer it to patrons first, I think. So, yeah, if you want to become patron and get involved in that,
it's
then you can.
sorted. The merch is sorted. And, yeah, like we said, we don't make any money out of it. We just want loads of people wearing Slug Life t-shirts.
That's it. And yeah, they're ready. They're cool. They're very cool. But when we were talking on the mailbag, I was thinking, how good would it be to have like a glossary of the in-jokes? Because there are so many in-jokes. And by the way, actually, that's an important one to say. If you haven't subscribed to the Jaff and Clips channel, go and do that. Go and subscribe to the channel because Rob's putting some wicked clips on there. Turns out True Geordie's a moisty. He's got a title out of that. Well done. So go and subscribe to that. But that's a good way of getting in the in-jokes. But we did say it'd be great if there was a glossary. And there was only one man for the job. Our boy Louis, James and Flav community page. Go follow him on Twitter as well. He's made a glossary for us, Flav. Check this out. A Jaffin dictionary. It's a beginner's guide to the in-jokes.
Oh, God.
It's absolutely stunning. It's so good.
I like the look of it.
It's good brand. I really like the branding of it, yeah. Let's make sure everyone can see it. It's class. It's so good. One, for fuck's sake.
Louis, does your wife ever question like what this is all about? Does she ever think, I wish you paid as much attention to me as you do this podcast?
Yeah, definitely. Must do. She must do.
I tell you what, as a repayment, give him a sex tip that he can take into the bedroom tonight as a payback
Hold
for
your
all
breath.
the good work he's done.
Hold your breath.
Hold your breath and hum. Did you tuck? You know when you used to do this, Jim? Would you like hold her hands like that as well? So her hands are like this, and you were.
Yeah. I'd be like that. Very sensual with the hand, and then just bring it into me.
Like two paraplegics having sex.
Oh no.
What?
I mean that's fine, but
that's fine. Paraplegics are allowed to have sex too, Jim. They're people.
Yeah. Okay. Great. 3 cheers for that. Leave it. So we've got a Jaffin dictionary. Now this is unbelievable. 49 slides. It's gone. So I'll run through it quickly.
49.
So Jaffin dictionary, beginner's guide to in jokes. Basic day-to-day. He's put this together beautifully. Basic day-to-day terms. Dry slug. a member of the Jaffa community who is a non-patron.
Yeah.
So for anyone, I'll put a link to this in the description. If you are new to the podcast and you just want to get a bit of a,
Yeah, you want to know what's going on.
get your intel on the in-joke upon in-joke upon in-joke, then check it out. Great work from Louis. Well done, mate. So that's what a dry slug is, if you're wondering. A moist slug, a member of the Jaffa community who is a patron. So if you do want to be a moist slug, then please do get involved. Links in the description for patron. A sickie of slugs is the definition to the collective for a term of group of slugs. So a group of slugs is a sickie of slugs. Lugs, rugs and jugs, definition of subsections of slugs based on the initial of your first name. For example, a James would be a jug and a Flav would be a fug. Just checking in. Definition: when listening to the podcast, it is customary to go to the comments and inform people how you are in general and what's going on in your life, but only if you have something important to say.
But no, we're taking that back, aren't we?
We're
going
taking
to take
that
back.
We would like people just to check in.
Just to check in and let us know how they're doing.
And by the way, Sonny's absolutely fine. He's had exams. He's been very busy. So last week, I know a few people kindly were saying, "Can you just let us know if Sonny's all right?" He's absolutely fine. And Ben Spencer Walker's in the comments as well. So everyone's fine, which is wonderful. But make sure you just check in. Spoon pictures. Origins. Our community had a dark past of catfishing. Then one day, a wise young man called Tanvir, see Big Dog, see Big Dog, so that's coming later, suggested asking for pictures of people with spoons, as they are hard to fake. If you comment something James and or Flav being believed to be bullshit, they will ask you for a picture with a spoon. Less of that. The definition. If somebody steps out of line within the comments, they are reminded to behave properly with a simple less of that reply. Jaffa quotes and moments. Frank's done a sickie. Flav's dog, Frank, wants to the sick mid-pod. Like the caring father he is, Flav turned around and said, "Frank, have you done a little sickie?" Poch bummed the kids. When talking about Pochettino being sacked, Flav said that he had to go and that it was like he had bummed the children, because once you've bummed a child, it's very hard to come back from that. I mean, agreed. Sandwich. Origins. 17th of February 2020, James and Flav sat in James' flat and hit record on what presumably thought would be a normal podcast. Little did they know that 23 minutes in, while discussing giving away on his wedding day, Flav would accidentally say the word sandwich and have no idea why he said it. History was made that day. It is now a Jeff and custom to fill all awkward silences with the word sandwich. Quotes and references. What a goal, G. Flav showed James a TikTok. Yeah, we'll skirt past that. He ain't won nothing. When a manager hasn't proven himself to be winning anything, Flav and James will often quote FTV Robbie from a Bull Street video where he informed Flav that Poch hadn't won anything. Eternal were bigger at the time. You're like a fucking woman to me. I'd love to run you over. Flav showed James a real clip of an actual argument between Jamie Redknapp and Roy Keane in which these quotes are used. These quotes can now be used in many different contexts. Eternal were fit. Football. The signal. A circular hand gesture would mark the end of witty banter at the beginning of the high-quality football chat. One or two Derby games, definition of the high-pitched battle cry that James uses to signal the beginning of the Derby games bit. See Derby games. Flav cannot hear this battle cry as it's too high-pitched to travel through Discord. Glue.
Never heard it.
Giving a football team glue is a phrase used to describe when James and Flav back a team that are struggling, such as Manchester United or Sheffield United, and the team instantly start to improve due to James and Flav's immense influence and power. Cracks. Definition. A phrase used to describe when James and Flav begin to point out things going wrong at a successful club such as Liverpool, and the team instantly go on a bad run of form due to James and Flav's immense influence and power. Football podcast. A phrase used when the podcast goes on a tangent about wangs or seagulls to remind listeners this is in fact a football podcast. Fingers in Fingers in mouths. In season 1 of Jaff and James and Flav told Flav his wife was cautious about him going to football because of the small disease that was kicking about called COVID-19. Flav then joked about the fact that whenever QPR score a goal, the fans at Loftus Road all start sticking their fingers in each other's mouth. It is now customary that whenever anything good happens to your club, you stick your fingers in your mouth. Something's happening here. I think it's an easy one. Calm take. A football calm take, considered on subject usually overhyped. Brave take. A footballing take which is wild, risky and brave and may evoke a backlash, but can be admitted on Jaffin as it is in our safe space. Good, but good. when you know a player team is good, but you're unsure that they are good enough, you may ask they're good, but are they good? Bits. What have you won? Made? Done? Viewers leaving the country things that they've won. I think it's an easy one. Oh, hang on. Forget it. Home wins. It's a bit structure. James and Flav read out stories of the comments about times that you had no idea how to do a DIY job or fix something, but managed to blag your way into fixing it, thus giving you the right to walk around the house like a king. All comments are read out by James' alter ego Cockney Allcott. Shark facts and news. An edutainment bit where Flav and James teach us all about the fascinating animal sharks and are kept up to date with sharks news. Flav likes sharks. This is in no way sexual. He just likes them.
Good.
Crying children. I think that's self-explanatory. Badge chat. That bit's dead, so don't worry about that. Reactive clubs. Also dead. Don't worry about it. BDA. Look at the gif on that. That is disgusting.
But I'm dancing, aren't I?
I don't think you are dancing, mate.
What do you think I'm doing? Fingering?
It looks like that. Bit of wrist action there. Up and back. Yeah.
Or just like that?
Yeah. I'm not sure that's allowed. Or always ask first.
Always ask. always ask. Never just do that.
Yeah.
Always ask.
Yeah, don't turn into that.
Can I do this?
Yeah. Don't hold.
Honestly, do you know what? I've never done that. You shouldn't either. I think the porn that you see that in is not normal. It's not normal. Let's not normalise fisting, please, because I haven't met a single woman who's ever wanted that to happen to them. And to be honest, I'd never wanted to do it to another woman. Never wanted to do it. I don't understand the idea of a whole hand disappearing. What's sexy about it? I don't get it. Just don't get it. Call me weird. I just don't understand. Okay, come on, carry on. Sorry. What's sexy about it?
Yeah. You brought it up.
Yeah, but I felt like I needed to get that off my chest for a long time because I didn't realise it was such an issue for me. Like why I don't get it.
Okay, right. Let's move forward. BDA is when we give you advice. Which there we've got some BDA. He's still off. Just needs a minute. He just needs a minute. Fair play. Oh damn. What a rant that was. Derby games. I think if you don't understand Derby games, then I don't want you here. Out. One for the weekend. One for the weekend was a podcast we did initially on the Bull Street channel. It's a small channel, much less subs than me, so don't worry about it. Footballers Wangs is one on that. It's an X-bit where people would send in stories about the times they caught a glimpse of a footballer's piece. Notably, entrants include Carlton Palmer at Alton Towers, Harry Redknapp at Christmas Do. The bit is well loved for the theme tune. Footballers Wangs can happen to you. Look at James, he saw tells. Occasionally it happens, but you know you've got to be strong.
So what a court of his piece.
That was the best. Whoever said that, genius. White Teeth Chronicles, unbelievable story. Again, go search White Teeth Chronicles, and it's amazing. Adam, we're going into these are old people that we. So if you ever hear us talking about Adam, we're talking about our boy
Adam on the ones and twos.
Who was on the ones and twos? Lovely man, great man.
We're seeing Adam soon on the 21st of June.
He's a Brentford fan, good egg. Was known primarily for being good looking and for his dating escapades with Sainsbury's girl. Do you know Sainsbury's girl? You know that?
Sainsbury's girl. Yeah, that was and didn't someone figure out what Sainsbury's she was actually working at?
And then we panicked.
We panicked. Like stop.
Yeah, and also known for bottling things. And Big Dog, I love the pictures he's used here for Big Dog. The nickname given to Tanvir on the ones and twos, who took over from Adam and was well loved for two things: being an absolute lady killer and helping out.
Fuck, I've forgotten about this. So this is when we got people to draw what they think Tanvir looked like. Yeah. And was it like that? I mean, neither of those look like Tanvir, to be fair.
Yeah. And the phone call was it was a bit that we had back in the day. Twinkles was a imaginary nightclub where I would chat up Flav using football statistics, which I think Rob Turner has tried to use in a club successfully. Other random words and phrases. Oh, heel, insert word here. Think of a dramatic scene in a sports movie where it seems like the team's best player will be unable to play, and then there's a drastic plot twist and someone states, oh, he'll play and he'll win. This can be used in many different contexts. Live Jasmine, yeah. A game where you turn to your mate during a normal conversation and say, live Jasmine, yeah. Or simply the word brazzers and see their reaction. Seagulls in trees. During a bit where slugs comment... Oh, this is the last one, I think. And during a bit where slugs comment mind-blowing facts, a slug stated that seagulls cannot sit on trees because of their webbed feet. This led to a bit called Seagull Facts. And that's it. So you should be caught up now. No excuse now. This podcast is gonna fly. You watch. God, I'm knackered from all that reading.
That's a lot.
That was a lot.
What's next? Could actually thank you, Louis. By the way,
great work. By the way, sorry. Yeah.
Great work.
Looks great as well. Looks great. Okay. Comments of the week. Ed Bailey. This whole time since like November, I thought Jim was ironically calling his wife Fam as a shortened version of family. I'm so sorry, Fam. That's fine. That happens often. Mark Dobson, just checking in.
Because that's a surname, isn't it?
Yes. It's
what is? Do all her friends call her? Because I call her Fam. Because you call her Fam. Is she known as Fam?
Generally, yeah.
Is Fam is that a common name from Pan Asia?
In Vietnam, it is. It's quite. There's in Vietnamese.
She's such a wonderful woman, isn't she? She's such a wonderful woman. She's great.
Her boss said this once. She said she spelt her name Fam, and her boss went, "You sure it's not Pam?" And she went, "No, it's not. What? That is because it's spelled Pham." And she was like, "What? Like in you don't take a poto, do you, or go to the pharmacy? Fuck, who the fuck are you? Shut up."
It's my own name.
Yeah.
And does Stacey have a Vietnamese name and an English name?
Yes. I don't want to get too much detail of her name.
Well, what your wife? Of your wife?
Yeah.
No, fair enough. Let's stop then.
All right.
I was just curious.
I'll tell you after. Yes.
Okay.
That's the answer. Mark Dobson, just checking in. When my daughter gets a bit aggy, I say, "Oi, listen to that." The proudest moment of parenthood for me was when my hang on. The proudest moment of parenthood for me was when my wife said it. Congratulations on the pod and the influence you have. Thanks, Mark. Stoker Pops, very proud day for me. Being shouted out on the Jaffin pod. It's an honour, and I will continue to support this great community for the foreseeable future. Good. And
wonderful.
Final comment of the week. Colm F. All right, lads. First time commenter here. Quick story I thought you might enjoy. I've been showing clips of your podcast to a girl I work with who has no interest in football, but she finds the likes of Home Wins and Birds and that hilarious. I was recently telling her about the seagull mystery involving trees and also the benefit of providing a spoon picture to back up a story. Then on Friday of this week, I sat in her car going for dinner and she pulls a spoon out of the door slot. I questioned why has she got a spoon in her car, as you would. Turns out she carries it in case we see a seagull in a tree. What a gem. I hope you enjoy this anecdote. Keep safe. Colm F, what's going on here, though? What's going on here?
This is what I'm...
here. There's something here, is there not?
Yeah, 100%. Like, there's no chance that she... Like, actually, no, there is a chance. Let's not get his hopes up. Because typically in this situation, the bloke fancies the bird doesn't. So it's just definitely sees him as a mate. It's possible, like out there, it's possible for girls to see. I know it's hard for men to compute this because men it isn't possible for, right? But for women, it's possible to see a bloke and see them as a friend. The difficulty thing is that blokes can't see women as friends typically. There will always be a moment when you thought, wonder what it would be like. Whereas,
that's terrible.
True though, true. And the woman probably might not have thought
What is that?
Well, this. Sorry, I was inching my eye with a gorilla arm.
Oh, thank God. I just felt it was important for people to know what it
Anal
was.
bead.
Yeah. Three-pronged attack.
So basically, I don't want to get his hopes up, is what I'm saying.
I just think let's go down this road, Flav. You know, I'll tell you what I'm saying is there's a couple of bits here I just thought was interesting, you know. So first of all, girl I work with who has no interest in... but hang on. I was recently telling her... Wait, hang on. Well, first of all, why are you showing her all these clips? Okay? You're clearly good friends for that time. Then, on Friday of this week, I was sat in her car going for dinner. Hang on a minute. That sounds like a date, doesn't it? That sounds like just like a date.
Sounds a lot like a date. It sounds a lot like a date. I mean, why wouldn't, you know...
And in fact...
Going for dinner? Do you want to go for dinner?
Do you let her look? Come on, Colm F. Look, you're listening to this right now, going, actually, I do fancy her. I want to move this. If that is the case, fantastic. What I've got to say is, don't be so naive and think that she enjoys this podcast. Are you mad? She doesn't
No, she
enjoy this
doesn't.
podcast. She hates it. She
She's doing this
fancies
for
me.
you idiot! She's doing it for you! And you're ignoring it!
Yeah, just,
Because you're friends!
yeah. Do you not understand how generally, apart from our Queen Catherine, women are far too intelligent for this kind of shit. You know? And she's buying into it.
Catherine is an accountant.
Catherine is an accountant,
accountant.
which balances it out. So she's proved she's smart enough, but she's happy to come down to our level because she's just a beautiful, humble person.
Yeah.
Beautiful on the inside, importantly, just to be clear. I don't.
And on the outside, everywhere.
Also on
It's
the
beautiful
outside.
everywhere. Everyone's beautiful everywhere.
Yeah.
Everyone is
Yeah.
beautiful
It's just
everywhere.
an aura, even if it's just an aura. But the point is, yeah, she doesn't like the podcast. She's not bringing. She's gone to get a spoon to put it in the car. It's because
She thinks it's stupid.
Yeah, she
thinks we're stupid, mate.
Morons.
Fucking idiots.
Right, and
Which is fine.
importantly as well, she's got the spoon right. It's
Who's
Friday
the
night.
biggest idiot here, though, Jim?
Well, I think Colm is, because I think
Colm
he's
is the
seeing
biggest
what's right in
idiot.
front of his face here. But what I also say, another important sentence here, and it's 3 words, 3-word sentence. Okay, you've written here, Colm. What a gem! What a gem! You love her. You're in love.
What
You're in love.
a gem! You love her, Colin. You absolutely love her. You adore her. In the first thing when you wake up in the morning, it's what's her name? I would imagine Destiny. I think her name's Destiny. First thing you wake up in the morning. Oh God, I love Destiny so much.
Is she mine?
And then,
Yes, she is.
this is
Let's go.
what she. Where's my friend? She goes like this. Oh, she's not called yet. No WhatsApp. That's you. That's your whole day. But you won't admit it to yourself. Instead, dinner with my friend. You're a coward, Colm.
Yeah.
You're a fucking coward. I swear to God, if you don't seek opportunities and grasp them when they're presented with you, you can get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Leave.
I want an update, and I want it to. And when I say update, I want it to have moved forward. Otherwise, you're out, son. You are out.
I want to playing you like a trombone by the end of the week.
Yeah. Emotionally. And physically, forget it. Right. So, Colm, let us know. Give us an update. Excited about this. You know, we just want to see everyone happy.
Sure you're happy, mate. You're sure you'd be happy.
Yeah. You just wasted. You going out, and I don't know how you're going out on Friday night for dinner. What's going on here?
Yeah, what's going on?
Right. I presume you're maybe American or something. Anyway, update, please. Jack Grealish is the type of guy. That's who we've got this week. I'll run through them. What do you think about Jack Grealish? The man, not the player, Flav. Like him?
He's a bit of a rascal.
It's a bit of a rascal. That's a good way of describing him.
He's probably all right. Bit of a flash knob. Wears rascal clobber. But he's like Jack Grealish, isn't he? He's like one of the best forwards in Europe. So, and he enjoys his money, enjoys his clothes, and enjoys his women.
Yeah. Him and Madders, him and James Maddison, they're like cut from the same cloth, aren't they? Both. I think it was on Saturday and then the Sunday. They're both like injured and both in the stands with just like mad clobber on.
I think I don't. If I knew them and they were in the changing room, they wouldn't be my cup of tea. Probably not. But that's fine. Everybody should be who they want to be.
Grealish needs to be careful because how do I put this? I mean, well, okay. Jerry Francis's hair was cool in the 70s, just right, and then he stuck with it forever. And it doesn't age well. There's going to come a point where Grealish is 35, maybe even 30. Really needs to kind of call it a day with the Barnet. What my fear with him is that he's going to keep that Barnet forever. Do you know what I mean? Because he's gone through.
Yeah.
He's gone through. A lot of people have gone, "What's that? What's that? Why have you got that?" Now we're accepting it. Fine.
You can get away with it as a Premier League footballer.
Exactly.
Like you wear however way you want it.
Yeah, you know when people keep that like from the 80s and they keep this sort of scraggly stuff because in their mind it was cool in the 80s and they just haven't let it go. That's my concern with Jack. Jay Cartwright, Jack Grealish is the type of guy to call you pussy for drinking a water at 10 a.m. on a Wednesday. Corey Kemp, Jack Grealish is the type of guy to ask for every dip at McDonald's, only to mix them and dip the fries in Coke. People do that, don't they? Milkshakes and stuff. Vernon Harvey, Grealish is the type of guy to... I really want a milkshake. God, Strawberry milkshake.
Definitely.
I'm so keen on the strawberry milkshake.
I love a strawberry milkshake. What do you know what I love right now, guys?
To be fair,
strawberry milkshake.
Strawberry milkshake.
Strawberry milkshake. Could I have a strawberry milkshake, please?
Could I get a free dip and strawberry milkshake, please?
He loves scratch cards.
Yeah, yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Loves them. So,
Third Harvey, Grealish is the type of guy never to dive in a swimming pool because he wants to get away from his day job. Ben Spencer Walker, yes! Jack Grealish is the type of guy to keep up with Delash on a night out for most of the night, but passes out at 3 a.m. as Delash disappears off into the night to find another sesh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Harry Fletcher, Jack Grealish is the type of bloke who whip you with a wet towel after a game and kick off when you do it back. I think he'll wink as well. He'd whip and he'd turn around and just give you a wink. And Jack Grealish is the type of guy to not even bother looking at the menu before ordering at a restaurant, leading him to choose the chicken enchilada, thinking it's an actual dish. That really does work with any Italian name.
I know. Chicken Maldini. That sounds all right.
Yeah. Chicken Berlusconi.
Chicken Baresi. The chicken Costa Curta's a bit sort of sticks in the...
Pasta al Nesta. You could do anything. And Matt Willis, last one. Jack Grealish is the type of guy to, if he wasn't a footballer, be promoting nightclubs and £5 for 3 shots on the streets of Ibiza, telling people to say, tell him Jackie G sent you to the bouncer. I was so this is interesting. So in terms of the type of guy for next week, refs in their spare time. We were talking about it last week, trying to get a bit confused. Like, what do refs do in their spare time?
I think it could be quite funny to do just to end this bit. Cause I think it's kind of running dry.
Yeah.
Just do a Flav or a James is the kind of guy we could end the podcast.
Okay,
we
fine.
can wrap it up with that.
Okay.
Either or.
That's fine. Flav's putting his foot down. Yeah, okay. So James and Flav are the type of guy. Fill your boots. We'll have a giggle out it next week. We were talking about keepers who bucked the trend. There
were a few people.
There were a few. The one thing I was like, David De Gea, I'm not having that. Like he was, he had a bad 6 months. That was it.
Yeah, that isn't a good example.
At Man United.
Martinez is a great example.
Martinez is a really good example. Quite a few people put that.
But maybe he was always good, but Arsenal just couldn't see it.
Yeah. I know Ding Pring, who watches, he's a Reading fan. He said Martinez was great for them. But there was one name, and I thought, this is pretty good, because when I heard it, I didn't know too much about him. Callum McKenzie, Peter Galaxy at Leipzig. He's the goalkeeper for Leipzig. He's at Liverpool for 5 years, didn't play a game. Then played for the likes of Tranmere and Hereford before moving to Peter Galaxy. Before moving to Leipzig at 25 and playing consistent top 5 league and Champions League football. Amazing.
Man, I didn't know Leipzig. I thought they had I don't know. How would I know? He
played really well against Liverpool, actually.
What, he's their main goalkeeper?
Yeah, he's their number 1 for Leipzig.
Shit. That is incredible. What a story.
Indeed. How do you feel about derby games this week? Do you feel like you're talking about things that are dry? Is derby games getting dry?
You're not asking me. Okay.
No, I am asking you.
I think it gives us an opportunity to talk around them. Gives us football content, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, it gives us. I think it serves a purpose. It does serve a purpose.
That's fine.
Okay, good. Because you know what? I put them together and I'll read out a few of them, but I was just like, I'm not laughing at these. And it's not their fault. It's no one's fault.
Maybe we just kept it going for too long.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I've got a couple. I'll read them out. We'll see.
We're quite close to it, Jim. It's the problem. We're quite close to it. Czech Republic. I'll read them out if you want. Do you want me to read them out?
Yeah, you just tell
I'll take some of the burden from you.
Go on then. Go on.
Do you want me to read them?
Yeah, I've done a lot of reading today.
Yeah. Hang on a second. How do I make this work? Okay. John Dewhurst says Czech Republic versus Belgium is the battle of the beers. Marcus Bones says Armenia versus Iceland is the odds-on favourite to have a finalist at the world's strongest man derby.
Do you want me to? Am I reacting to any of these?
Can do if you want.
Okay. No, go on,
react if you feel like they're worth reacting to, I guess.
Did you watch World's Strongest Man? I mean, that was why I picked that one. No. You never watched it? I used to love it. I used to really enjoy it.
They throw the boulder over the thing. I don't get all that.
It was a little bit weird. A little bit. Oh no, have you frozen? Is he back? Yeah, he's gone.
No, I'm back. He's
back.
Should be back.
Yeah, I remember thinking it was like, you know, you're big. You're a big man lifting big boulders.
Good for you.
But it's sport, innit? I guess it's sport.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I'd like getting excessive strength. It's never been that like impressive for me, is it? I've never been driven to want to be strong. It just feels like such a kind of caveman instinct, and I feel like we kind of moved past that. I don't need to crush an otter's head in my bare hands because I can go and buy some meat down the supermarket if I want to.
Yeah.
And I think women, sort of women I've spoken to in the past have said, like, anyone too muscular or too big and strong, it's almost a little bit intimidating. They find that some of the women I've spoken to have said they find it a little bit like it's too much. Don't know.
I was listening to, there's a really good podcast with Obama and Bruce Springsteen on Spotify, and they talk about like being a man, and he was saying like, for such a long time, like being a man is supposed is either being good with women or like being able to get women, being violent, or being good at sports. Like that's it.
It's
like
bollocks.
That's it, and it's bollocks, isn't it?
It is
bollocks.
I know, but this bloke I kind of knew who would that was his thing. He wasn't to be honest, he wasn't that smart, but he was kind of big and he had a good like body. He looked like your alpha, your Chad. Do you know what I mean? Your alpha male, kind of the way he looked. But like we were doing some, I can't remember who it was, but doing some gardening or somewhere, and I had gloves on my hands because there were stinging nettles, and I don't want to sting my hands, do I? And he was like, "Don't fucking sting your nettles, just use your hands." And I'm like, it doesn't matter how big and strong you are.
Yeah, there's hard.
You can't stop venom. You can't stop the venom going into your skin. It's still going to hurt you. And he did it for about half a minute, and then sort of walked off. And I saw his hands was like welts all over him. It's just fucking
crying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
toxic masculinity, isn't it?
That was what was interesting in the podcast. It's a really good podcast, by the way, if anyone does want to listen to it. But it's kind of talking about like those are the kind of roots to supposedly being this like alpha male, and the road of that is all just super negative. Like, so you know that leads to violence, like we're saying, or you know not respecting women. Like either way, that's not actually what whole men should be doing. Like, it's interesting. Anyway.
Do you know, like, this is just while we're on this sort of stuff, there's a lot going on about women, treating women equally. There was the BLM movement, the Me Too movement beforehand, which is already good and progressive. But that, do you feel a little bit uncomfortable about the James Rodriguez stuff at the week, saying that there was a big joke that he was in transition and that he was going from male to a female, and it's almost like everyone knows that they can't make fun of they can't make fun of black people, or they can't make fun of women, or there needs to be equality between them. But trans people get a pretty rough deal, I think.
Yeah. I know. I did. I only saw all of that yesterday. So for anyone who doesn't know, yeah, it was all over Twitter yesterday, this idea that James Rodriguez might be transitioning.
Trans.
And I guess my thoughts on it were, I don't, you know, because that could be, you know, I don't know. Like, I presume, I don't even want to presume if it's true or not. That's why I felt uncomfortable with it. But like the point of it is that if that is the case, like that, the response shouldn't be that the response that you saw people making joke after joke after joke about genitalia.
And these,
I was actually pretty offended by it, if I'm honest.
I felt really uncomfortable, and there were people in my group, close circle, who were posting stuff about it and laughing. They were the same people that were also preaching about certain things elsewhere politically. And you're like, well, hang on, is that all right? It's because you want me to care about that, but you don't think that we can all laugh at trans people.
Yeah.
Just felt a little bit like, and everybody's hypocritical. And I'm not saying, I mean, maybe the answer is that we should just be able to laugh at whoever we want and that everyone gets it. Or maybe there's just, I don't feel comfortable with everyone picking and choosing what group gets protected and what doesn't.
Yeah. I guess it's like, say on Twitter, because that's where I saw it all.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess to be honest, when I see things like this, I then like click on like the trend of that or the hashtag of that, and then you kind of see everyone. So I guess it's maybe not the sort of bubble of Twitter that I have. But you're right that the whole point of this is, and the whole point of those other elements of it is fairness, and so again, and kindness. I think actually a lot of the time, and so the same should go for something like that, which is, it comes from this like ridiculous little WhatsApp message of one idiot to another idiot, and it gets out there, and then people just sort of sniggering and laughing at it. And actually, I think the point is, because I guess the thing I'm careful about is the fact that he's quite well groomed, if you know what I mean, James Rodriguez, and so like. If if the idea is that you want to become a woman, then you might have some of those characteristics of wanting to look a bit more feminine, and so that's where people are kind of making that jump. And I'm being really careful on an issue that could be absolute nonsense. But the fact is that I should be careful because, regardless of if it's nonsense or not, some of those tweets are unkind and unfair.
Yeah, they are. And you imagine if someone who, who's there are tons of people out there who are trans or are thinking about doing it or want to do it but scared, and they go on football Twitter or else, and it wasn't just football Twitter, it's elsewhere as well, and they see it, and that's going to even make them more closeted and more afraid to be who they want to be. And you know what that leads to? It leads to massive amounts of mental health. It leads to huge issues in the trans community, and obviously by and large it reduces. It makes people think it's acceptable. And I'm not talking about WhatsApp messages, to be fair, because once you know your social group well enough, you know where the line is in terms of comedy, and what happens in some WhatsApp groups. You know that the messages coming from that person aren't from a genuine place of hate or whatever, and I think that's fine in small knit groups. That sort of stuff, in my opinion, is okay as long as you know each other to that degree. But doing it openly where anyone can see it on Twitter is a different thing altogether. Like you don't know by what you're tweeting that how harmful that could be, and it's not kind. You're right, Jim, and I just wish some of the energy from the people that were campaigning about the things they're interested in goes to, they open up to think about some of the things that perhaps they're not interested in, doesn't affect their lives so much, but it could still do with the same sort of energy. That's what I find frustrating.
Am I supposed to do derby games after that? Norway versus Turkey.
Yeah, let's carry on with the derby games. Where was we?
That's all right. I've had my break from reading. If you want me to
go on, then.
Just might be easier. Where are we? Wait. This is only a link that would deliver itself to us on a Jaffin podcast. Tom Sid says the Netherlands versus Latvia is the. I thought these were terms for genitals derby, male, female, respectively. If this actually makes it in, I won't hold my breath. Well, it has, mate. You've got the Netherlands versus the Latvia.
And as we know, when talking about sex, holding your breath is positive.
Exactly. Yeah, too. We'll get you where you need to be. Norway versus Turkey is they're not in the EU, but are they in the EU derby? Which I didn't know. Norway aren't in the EU. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. Do you know what else I didn't know? Well, I did know, but half of Turkey is in Europe and half of Turkey is in Asia. Asia.
Oh, is it Asia? Because is it? I should know that.
Actually, half of Istanbul is in Asia, and half, or is it Middle East? Oh, fuck.
See, because I did a marathon in Istanbul, and
of course you did.
And and you start in one continent, and then you go over this bridge into another continent, which is quite cool.
Half is in Europe and half is in Asia. Yeah,
it's Asia. Good.
Yeah,
there you go. Football podcasts, Slug Life. There's someone called Slug Life, by the way.
No, Rob. No, it isn't the Middle East. I just said it was Asia. I just Google it, Rob. All right. Sick of this.
Actually, I'm not even reading that out. Israel versus Scotland is you may take our land, but you'll never take our freedom. Derby, brackets Palestine. Very political today. And where's this one? Belarus versus. I'm bored. Let's move on.
That's that, mate. That is it. That in terms of trying to strive for if anybody thinking actually this isn't working, move on.
I'm bored.
Forget about it and go.
I'm bored because they've got other bits to talk about. Yeah, all right, fair enough. Word for you, and I'm sad as I'm deciding myself here. What have you made? /1. Morgan Heath. Shark facts help me at sixth form. On Thursday in my tutor group, we do a weekly quiz, and one question on this week's quiz was asking what was interesting about a recent discovered shark. As a regular listener and dry slug, I swiftly scribbled down, it glows in the dark. I secured myself 3 points. What have I won? The quiz. Oh, Hill quiz. High quality rumours. So, Oliver Garl. So I remembered. So this is a potential banning opportunity, Flav. Because it's long enough for me not to want to read it in the moment. But short enough for me to read it in the podcast. But I read the first sentence. It said, so I remembered I have a good false rumour about me that you might enjoy. Oh, will I, Oliver? Well, we'll read it out and we'll see if we enjoy it. And if we do, then great. You can stick around. We'll give you the applause that you deserve.
And we don't do half measures here. We're assertive. We use assertive language, direct language. Might isn't something we recognise. Will is something we will. So we're going to substitute your might, and we're going to add a will. And we'll see just whether or not we will. And if we do, you get to stick around. If we don't, you know where the door is.
Okay. So it's a high quality room, apparently. I was at a party a couple of years ago, back in sixth form days, and a lad there, brackets, I knew him, but we weren't close, was absolutely blind drunk, stumbling around the kitchen, smashing glasses. He's fumbling around with the toilet door, trying to get in to go for a piss. To the horror of the girl whose house it is, who expresses her concern that he's going to piss all over the floor. So yeah, can't remember why, but she asked me to go on and check he doesn't piss on the floor.
What are you going to do? Hold his hips?
Well, bear with. I stand in the corner of the room and he's able to regain some composure.
I like the fact he's gone, oh, you're all right. I don't really know him, but yeah, I'll go and watch him piss for you. You fuck off.
Chivalry.
You go and watch him piss.
Chivalry. And he's able to regain some composure and successfully relieve himself. But on our return to the party, he loudly and repeatedly proclaims, Gilly held my cock so I could have a piss. Now, normally I'd be able to spot the danger of protesting too much here. But whether it was the insecurity of my younger self or the alcohol in my system, my attempts to set the record straight were too riddled with the stench of denial. This fell on deaf ears. I had forgotten about this whole affair, except it being occasionally mentioned until a few months ago, when I chatted to a mate that still genuinely believed I handled the schlong. And it turns out that most other people, including all my mates, still believe it as well.
You can stay.
You can stay, Oliver. Great work.
Well done.
Do you want to know, Flav? Come on, eh? He did, didn't he? He did, didn't he? He did.
Yeah, he definitely did. And there's nothing wrong. You know what he did it as well is he did a double reach around. So he's standing there and he's just gone and just grabbed his cock like that.
Oh, right.
And he's just pressed his own just against his bum.
Male hairdresser.
Just like that.
Male hairdresser him.
he just give him the male hairdresser, didn't he? As he's relieving him so his piss doesn't go over the floor. So hopefully he could hook up with the host of the party. He's holding another man's penis and directing the urine into the bowl, and he's just giving his bum a little hairdresser. isn't he?
It's a party.
Hey, shit happens. I'd embrace it. Like everyone else go.
Parrot facts. Yep. See how it goes. Sam Thomas. Next episode, parrot facts. My submission, the world record for the amount of words known by a parrot is 1,728 words. Impressive stuff.
Do you know, that is impressive. Do you know chickens make 44, there are 44 different sounds they make in order to communicate. Did I show you my chick?
You did on Mailbag, you did.
Can you? I don't know if you can hear it. It's going mental in the other room. Go on, you carry on. I'll go and get the chick. Give you a little chick update.
All right. Still to come, we've got some Flames advice. And we've got some mind-aching facts. I'll give you these mind-aching facts. Mental. Tin Face 87. Mind-bending facts. Lemons were created by crossbreeding a citron and a citron and a bitter orange. So life doesn't give us lemons. We made them ourselves. Interesting. Tom Cribb, just checking in, mind-blowing fact. All right, right, pause that because we've got ourselves some...
Little chick update. Whoop, fucking dropped.
Oh, that's amazing. Hey!
He's actually looking down the lens.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. Oh, that's amazing.
What should we call him?
Can we get some names in the comments, please? What should we call him?
I thought Pingu.
His hair.
Oh.
He's got hair. He's got hair like Stephen Howson.
Has he?
Yeah.
That's what that
Howson's
means.
got really thick, kind of thick Brillo pad hair.
I thought he's always had quite a nice. There we go. I'll just hold him for the rest of the show. Oh, he's looked off.
He's gone. Don't try.
This is my life.
Mm.
Bringing up these little cunts.
Tom Cribb, just checking in, mind-blowing fact. If you don't have children, you are breaking a 7 million year bloodline. Thanks.
What?
Apparently. And this is mad.
Bless you.
If you
that's a big
shuffle a
one.
deck of
That's a big one.
thanks. If you shuffle a deck of cards, the likelihood is the cards have never been in that exact order before. Mad.
Okay.
Craig Jones, mind-aching fact. This is my favourite. If you could fold a piece of paper in half 51 times, it would be thick enough to reach the sun. 103 times, it would be as thick as the universe.
That's a stupid idiot, Craig.
That's class. If that's true, that's really good.
Of course, it's not true.
It is though, isn't it?
The universe is infinite, isn't it? They don't know the edge of the infinite for a start. Let alone a piece of paper folded 103 times.
Right,
Going to be as thick as...
The first one works, I think. 51.
Do you know you can't? It's physically impossible to fold a piece of paper more than 8 times.
Is that true?
I don't know. Try it.
Done a little. Someone in the chat's done a little chickie. Very good.
Little chickie, little chickie.
8 times. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Look, you see how you get to the sun, wouldn't you? 4, 5. Oh.
Possible, Jim. You can't do it.
I think, yeah, you're only getting to 6, aren't you? 6. Interesting. There you go. Football podcast. Finish in this football podcast. We finish off with some BDA, aka Birds and That, aka Flames advice. I asked Sonny for his update. Ain't got it yet. Okay, don't worry. We've got ourselves to keep ourselves going. Harry Gibbs Peters. Dry slug here. As Sonny is presumed dead, he's not dead. I thought I'd ask for some love advice. Basically, there's a girl who has worked in the same insurance company.
Oh yeah.
For 3 years.
We wait for.
I bet you'd like to give her some coverage. Don't know. What's some sexy insurance chat, guys? Can you?
Yeah, let's get some sexy insurance chat. I'd like to see God, I'd like to see your claim form.
Yeah.
That's like that Alan Partridge, isn't it? Oh, what do you think of the pedestrianisation of Norwich City Centre?
So
Sorry, I'm just trying to keep the
Let's
wolf from the door, so to speak.
So they work in the same insurance company as me for 3 years, and I've had a huge crush on her since the day she started. Day one, love at first sight. I think she's amazing, and I think of her all the time. Before lockdown, I'd managed to work my way into a position where we were having lunch together most days and carpooling to and from work.
Nice.
My problem, and the reason I've not asked her out, is my 2 friends who work in the office. They don't like her, and they think she's not all that.
What do you mean, not all that? Mate, first off, I know there's going to be more, but it doesn't matter what they think. It's what you think is important. How is they going to make you feel? How is your relationship with this girl going to make you feel? Because it really has nothing to do with them. And do you know what? They probably look at them thinking there's an opportunity that there's something happening between them. They might be a bit jealous. But don't let the opinions of others ever stop you from doing something you want to do, unless something you want to do is sort of pretty horrible and hurts people and that.
Yeah. When I told them right at the start that I liked her, they laughed and said they think I could do better.
No, fuck that, man. You know what? Get these people out of your life. I'd say that much. Fuck them.
I really like her, but I'm worried that if I go for it, my friends will think less of me. Should I ignore my true feelings for her and try to fit in with the boys, or should I just swallow my pride, man up, which we don't, don't worry about that, and ask her for a drink once lockdown's over? I'd love to know what you two think I should do. Can I just say, Harry, what did you? Right, actually, no. Look, Harry, you obviously you just want to be told what you know is correct, which the whole world knows is correct. Which these 2 guys, if they're not going to support you in being happy, they're mutts.
Knobheads.
Right? But part of me is a little bit like, you don't need to write this, and you don't need us to read this out, and you don't need any of this stuff. You need to get on with this. Like, actually, I'm 3% disappointed because you didn't need to write us this.
I'm on the brink of saying maybe you need to go.
Maybe you need a week.
Maybe you need it. Maybe you need to go. I'll tell you what. Actually, what's his name?
Harry.
Harry, listen to me, mate.
Do you focus, Flav? You think?
Sorry. Listen to me. If you don't do this, never watch this podcast ever again. If you listen to the knobhead and needle dick, then your constitution is appalling. Your responsibility is to yourself and not to the opinions or if you're finding self-worth in 2 people who don't care about your happiness, then what is the point? Why are you friends with them? Your fault, mate. Your fault. You don't need to listen to them. You don't need to write anywhere. You know what to do. Go get the gravy.
The cockerel has sounded. Is it cockerel?
You can hear it. Yeah, that's cockerel out there.
Yeah. I mean,
go get the gravy. Go get the gravy.
Go get the gravy.
Do you know what I mean?
Go get the gravy.
Go get the gravy. They want you to eat your roast. Your mates want you to eat your roast dry. No one likes dry chicken, dry roast potatoes. Go get the gravy, mate.
Yeah.
It's better.
I'm actually, but like, you're better than that. You're better than this, mate. And I mean, I'm saying that with love. Okay.
So basically, you could be having mind-blowing sex, and I've got to say,
dishing out multiples on the reg.
You could be dishing out multiple. There could be orgasms for you, orgasms for her. There could be orgasms for both of you. Having a good old time you could be having, right? But what you have actually could potentially have happen is your right hand, Pornhub, and the opinions of your 2 mates. That's it.
I don't think there's much more that needs to be.
Mind blowing it could be, but you're fucking about because 2 of your mates are probably jealous.
Yeah. You're being an absolute donut.
The chick's just shut on the keyboard. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's not gone behind the keys, is it?
No, luckily when they're chicks, they're just like little droplets. They're not droplets, like a little pellet. It's nothing to worry about.
Right. And that's your lot. We hope. I think that's a perfect way to end.
Go get your gravy, mate. Go get your gravy.
Go get the gravy. Okay, let's
Pour it all over your dinner.
Right. Thanks for watching, guys. By the way, thank you to all our new patrons. We really, really appreciate it. And the OG patrons, of course, as well. You're absolute heroes. We appreciate it.
Catherine's just said that she doesn't like gravy. Like in real life, she doesn't like gravy.
I don't like cold. It's got to be hot. It's got to be so warm.
No one like cold gravy, do they?
I know, but it can get cold quite quickly. And then when you pour it on, it becomes cold. That's a problem for me.
James, she's saying no gravy at all. Just dry roast. Dry roast.
Interesting.
You put ketchup on it or something like that. Is that what you...
Don't ask me. Catherine, do you want to just let us know quickly before we go?
Do you put ketchup on your roast? Quickly, Catherine? Come on. Need to know this before we can get on with the day.
What cliffhanger? I mean, we could save it for next week.
No. Let's leave it. As long as it takes. Yeah. Catherine, we're busy. We've got a lot to do. I've got a meeting in half an hour. Catherine, nothing. I don't like anything. That is disappointing. I think that's where we need to end.
See you next week.
Bye.